I just discovered my microphone was turned all the way down in my volume properties for some obscure reason. So I've turned it back on again, and I've hit the little microphone boost button. There we go. And now we'll get back to doing some fun recording and going deaf. Okay, what I'm going to do at this point is this hip pivot pin, and then I'm going to do the hips. So let's start with the hip pivot area first, and I'm going to isolate it. Right, now I'm going to go into edit mode, and real messy. I mean, you know, seriously messy. Unwrap UVW map. Cylindrical, no, spherical. Do a fit. There we go, unwrap UVW map. Right, that's I suppose that's a tiny bit cleaner. Let's have a look at the edit on that now. There, it's kind of a single object. A little bit messy in the way it's been done. I think what I'll do is I'll take some of the parts in this. I'll keep some of it, but I'll change some of the parts as well. There we go. So that is the kind of tubey part here. So what I'm going to do is break it, and then in Tools, Mapping, Flatten, 75. Yeah, that's not all the parts there, is it? Let's try that again. Can't help but feel the computer was having a joke on my behalf there. Yep, here they all are. Not really making very much sense in the way they've been laid out, so thank you for that, Mr. Computer. Although I should have known better, moved it really. What I'm going to do is move this just over here. This is the end cap over here, look at this part, so let's move it because it's irrelevant, it's an internal piece. Right, this piece will connect onto that there. Okay, so this part's already slightly upside down. Only slightly though. Right, so the top part here now should connect to this bit. There we are. This part here will weld to that one there. So these two weld to those ones. Let's just rotate this one straight over. It's quite funny, I was looking at a picture of an old friend of mine who is an archaeologist now, and he'd posted up a photo of himself on Facebook, and I was having a look. Oh, I don't break, target weld. And he does, he's a geophysicist, he does archaeology and stuff, which looks really cool. And there was a picture of a table absolutely loaded with like bits of broken pottery and vases from an ancient Roman dig site. And I was thinking to myself, God, that looks complicated. Putting all those bits of Roman pottery together, God almighty. That must take some patience. And then I had to think about it. You know, just a little one. Funny old world, really. There we go. Right. Now we've got these funny little triangles going down the middle here. So what I was going to do was kind of look at them and think of a logistical progression for unwrapping, and then I thought, well, you know what I should do really is just kind of select these pieces here and just flatten map them. Then I thought, yeah, that'll work. So, grab these, like so. Probably do these ones along the bottom as well. Right, break. What's the limitation I should put on this? Maybe 60 degrees to the face angle threshold. Yeah, that seemed to work okay. See what happens if I change that to slightly higher. Okay. Ah, that's quite nice. This is what irritates me, you see. I can't actually see the points where these try and weld, so... Okay, let's go to vert and do some target welding. If I can find the places they weld. There's one, for example. And there. Just keep going. Okay. There we are. So that makes one solid ball type side. Now go around. And really I'm just going to select this lot. So even though it looks pretty cool actually, that looks like a kind of bas relief of Amanda with her hair in big dreadlocks. Right, mapping. Actually, before I do this, let's move this one out of the way. Right, mapping, flatten, 95 degrees. Oh, that saved me some time. Pop that there, and there, that there. Scale this down. Rotate it. And move it. Scale it again. And there's nothing really down here in this corner at the moment, so now there is. Exit isolation mode. And what I'm going to do is just collapse that to there and go straight into this one. So let's isolate it and edit. And this one's actually not too bad. It looks pretty tidy, really. Just a couple of things that I'd really probably change, so I'm going to. There we are. Okay, so that's this piece here. So I'm going to break it, rotate it. Okay. This piece. Am I saving or something? Hang on, let's have a look. No, I just wasn't focused on this window. Another break. And a move. Okay, just rotate this. And put it in approximately the correct position. Another break. Thought so. Pop that there. Right, and that leaves these pieces here and here. Oh, no, I've already done those pieces there and there. That's cool. That leaves me these pieces here and here then. Okay, and that is a complete lap, basically, of this piece. Okay, so verts, target welds. So bringing these down. I'll just undo that one again to make sure that's where it did weld, and it does. Okay, now the sides, just over here and here. Okay, gonna grab here, 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 and here, and of course here, and then click grow. Okay, now this gives me these bits, so I'm gonna break them, and then go to mapping, flatten. We should just get a real big polygon. Yep, so let's just adjust that flattening again and make it 85 degrees off the normal. Not bad. Before we do this, what we need to do is move everything else away. There we go, then it's out of the way. That was pretty cool. I like to mess around with the mapping sometimes. Okay, let's have a look at this. Okay. Target weld on vert mode. One of those occasions when it isn't actually too difficult to see what you're doing here, which does make a nice change. Ooh, what's that? There. Gotta be careful sometimes with those ones. Okay, target welding again. Okay. So that's this part. Scale it down. And just move it over here. Scale it a bit more. And move it. There we are. So that's tidied up that side. Let's go and do the other one. Just making sure I'm not selecting a load of inappropriate polygons. There we are. Break. Mapping, flatten, 75 degrees. So we can do the same pretty much as we did last time. Just going to find the area to weld, as it were. There we are. Now I know where they're supposed to go. It's like doing a crossword, but not actually having any way whatsoever of seeing the clues even sometimes. Okay. There we are. Bit of a funky hole going on here. Let's see what's going on. Ah, it's this. Yeah, that makes sense. I couldn't work out what it was. Target weld again. Okay, straighten these out. And my grandmother used to do lace making as well, which kind of looked quite similar to some of the things you'd do in unwrapping. Lace making looked mad frustrating, to be honest. Like really madly frustrating as well. I'm really glad that I never did that. Although again, everything's comparable in some way or another, I suppose. Okay, let's find out what this is, because I've been dying to find out what it is. It's that piece there, look. Okay, well, no time like the present for sorting this one out. Break the parts. Mapping, flatten. Again, another 75-degree one. There we are. Let's go to vert mode, target weld. There we are. That in a little bit. So hard sometimes finding the right one to attach these damned things to. That's an inside out one that I'm going to have to fix in a minute. Unlike this one. There we go. Okay, face mode. There's enough room really for me to do these two fairly large in here. There's one. And basically all the remaining pieces will make up this one here, I think. Right. Mapping, flatten, 75 degrees. It's the easiest way of scaling these all up to a size I want. Auto saves on. My god, this will probably be the shortest part, and I've done 2 bits. But target weld. 2 bits, eh? My word. There we go. There we are. Now then, this piece links up here to these, whatever these are. So, let's grow it out and find out. Each man a king, as my good friend Clam would say. I haven't heard him use that sentence in quite a while, actually. Right. Okay, move that over to there. And grab them all and move that to there. Okay. So now, if I go over here and just select the UV unwrap for all these pieces. I'll just stick an edit poly on everything, actually. In fact, hell, I'll do it all simultaneously. And then a UVW map. Sorry, unwrap UVW. Okay. As you can see, it's preserved all our UVs down here. Now I can select these ones. Go into the edit. As you can see, I've been packing them fairly tightly down here, so there we are. Okay, so we've got plenty of room for the upper part up here. There's only like a few pieces left really to do up this part anyway. So I'll see you in the next part, and until then, thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.